In this part of the series, I'd like to take a quick minute to look at the materials and how they transfer over from Rhino to Revit using Conveyor, and how you can quickly make a few tweaks to the material once it's been imported into Revit. Looking just at this cabinetry here, this RH wood tone material, we have the original objects here in Rhino. We have the imported objects in Revit. And just doing a side-by-side comparison, you can see that this RH wood tone material here has a color assigned to it. It's not transparent. Its transparency is 0. If it were transparent, that would come across with the material as it's imported. And it also has this color bitmap assigned to it. As I select on this, I'm going to copy this file location to use later, but that is all that this material entails in Rhino. And then over on the Revit side, if I open up the Manage tab and go to Materials here, and I search for RH wood tone. So this material was created when these objects were imported, and in the graphics you can see the color's been assigned the same, the transparency 0. There's currently not a pattern here, and within its appearance it has the same color that's been assigned to it but no image. So if we'd like, we could assign the same image just by copying and pasting that image map, and that's been assigned. So just go ahead and hit apply. It won't change the view on the screen behind me, but it would change things if you were using a rendering engine that was able to read these materials, or if you were in the rendered view, which I guess I could open up a rendered view here. Just so we can take a closer look at how that's coming across. And even within Rhino, you can see that this is not exactly optimized as far as the UV map goes. This is some pretty gnarly wood grain, but here we are. You can see that that material is now coming across. And if we jump over into a plan view, and you can see here I've got an interior elevation set up. Here we're looking at the interior elevation of this area, and if we wanted here to indicate that material had a texture of some type, from here we could add in a foreground pattern based on the ones that are available. And then as far as a cut pattern goes, typically when we cut through these things, they're going to be solid, I believe. At least that's how I've documented them in the past. And again, not sure about the background if that's necessary, but we can just go ahead and make that solid as well. And then just for clarity, I like to sometimes have my outlines, my cut lines be a black and the fills be gray. That's kind of at your discretion. But I'm just showing here how the materials that are transferring over from Rhino have all of the same functionality that you would expect. And they are applied basically to everything as you would expect it to be applied once they're imported. So here you can see that did add a surface pattern, and anywhere that you have these materials that have been imported, it's going to have the same effect. So you don't need to go in and change it for every different version of import that you have sent in. It's always going to retain the same material name between Rhino and Revit, and you can quickly make adjustments as needed